fish out of water here because I'm not. I have a hard time turning on my phone, much less using it. And I'm not a technical person. I've known Scott now for a couple of years, I guess, and he actually helped me develop an app. And I'm a sales and marketing person. I have a company called Success Builders. I have a business networking group that help people in the area with their business. And I was thinking, what can I bring to you all? And I don't know really how involved you want to be in this aspect of it, but I hope the information I give you doesn't bore you. I will tell you that everything I've seen so far, I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, to me, it's all foreign. Okay, and I'm sure you can understand that. It's just not. I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer when it comes to technical type stuff. But I do have a long history of sales and marketing. I've worked for a couple of multimillionaires. One of them being George Jenkins, I knew personally with Publix, who founded Publix, and Stuart Arnold, who founded the Auto Trader. And so I have some mentors where I learned a lot. You don't have to be real smart if you can work with people who are. And so I've just gotten a lot of knowledge, and I've got a lot of gray hair, what's left of it. And what I try to do is keep people from making the same mistakes I have made, and I've seen other people make in marketing. I just came from a function this evening over at the Hilton, where I did a little bit of speaking about sales and marketing, and which is something that you all probably, does everybody work for someone, or is anybody independent, or everybody work for someone? Okay. Well, if you have what I call a JOB, which is just over broke, and when you're working for someone, you have a job to do, you go in and you do it, and I'm sure you do it quite well, otherwise you wouldn't be there. But I'm an independent entrepreneur. Okay, some people say it's a serial entrepreneur. I need a 12-step program to get out of some of them probably. But I develop businesses. If I find something that's needed, I try to develop it. And a while back I came up with this concept for an app, not knowing even what an app was. And I think Scott went to one of my networking meetings, and that's where we met. And I said, I want to build an app. I don't know anything about it. I've got a web developer that I think is very, very good. It's hard for me to tell because I don't know the tech. I have to rely on their expertise. I didn't know if Scott knew anything. But I found out pretty quickly that he does. And I'm not saying that because he's in the room. But one thing I realized that if you all decide to develop an app, and I'm going to try to gear some of what I do to what you do. If you decide you want to do something on your own and you want to market an app or you want to market anything, okay, you can't do it yourself. I can't do it myself. You've got to build strategic partnerships, strategic alliances. There's a saying in sales and marketing that you should do what you do best and farm out the rest. Because a lot of people try to be everything to everybody and then they fail. Okay? And I see it every day. I see it every day with people who aren't technical. I see it with individual entrepreneurs. I don't care if they're making candles in their back bedroom or they're selling a widget or an app or whatever it is. But I know my limit of expertise. And so what I try to do is do what I do best. Not everybody, my webmaster, he's not a marketing person. He is like a sponge. He's learning a lot about marketing. And Scott, I mean, I got to tell you, it's almost funny. We'll meet at a sports bar to talk about something I want done with the app that I don't know whether it can be done or not. And Robbie and Scott will sit there and they'll say, yeah, well, we got to connect the Canute and rod with a Finnegan bend, muffler bearing, a roll, and they're talking about all this stuff, and I have no idea what they're talking about. I just sit there and shake my head, okay? But I know enough to know that I shouldn't try to be doing things that I don't understand, that I should farm that out and work with other people. So I would strongly advise you, if you are going to develop something on your own, you've got the greatest thing since sliced bread idea, or it's an app you want to get to market, don't try to do everything yourself. It just doesn't make sense. You'll get there a lot quicker by maybe having to pay a little bit or maybe working it as a partnership and create something to where everybody wins. And you'll get to market a lot quicker and you'll be a lot more successful with your endeavor. And it actually becomes fun because everybody's doing what they like to do best instead of doing things they don't like to do. I can't remember who said it, but if you do something you like to do, you'll never work a day in your life because you're enjoying the process, okay? I believe Scott really enjoys it, otherwise he wouldn't have gone through all the headaches that I put him through to develop this app, okay? I can't believe some of the stuff he's done. Robbie is the same way. I'll call him up and I'll say, Robbie, do you think we can make this jump through this hoop? 5 minutes later, he's got it done. I'm saying, oh God, how the hell did that, It just amazes me what the knowledge of others can add to what you're trying to accomplish. Does that make sense? Because too many times either we hold something so close to us that we don't want to let anybody know about it, okay, don't want to let it get out. You do want to protect yourself, but we think that we know everything and we can do everything. I'm guilty, everybody is, okay? We all do that at some point in time, whether you're a kid or an adult. And it's a big, big mistake you can make in business. And I mean, there's many, many aspects to business and many, many aspects to sales and marketing. And I could bore you just like you could bore me by showing me a bunch of stuff I don't understand. So I don't want to do that, okay? I'd rather just give you some really basic common sense information and impress on you that you really need to create. You know, I tell you what I was thinking about when I sat in here tonight. I thought, this is scary. There's a lot of smart people in this room, okay? And a lot smarter than me. And what if you all decided to get together, and I'm not suggesting you do this, but if you got together and said, let's all work on a project. Maybe you do that. Let's work on a project. Let's develop something that we can take to market. Just for fun. You know, if it makes it, fine. If it doesn't make it, it's fine. But you got to go into it with that attitude, because otherwise you'll get depressed. But you come up with something, you say, we need to come up with something that's a developer's app, or something that's, you know, I don't care what it is, some kind of widget. And you all work on that. I think that would just be a blast, because I do that with people in sales and marketing a lot of times that are selling a product. I'll say, why don't you all get together? You like this, you're good at this, and you're good at that. If you all put that together, the bottom line is you're going to come up with something that maybe is sellable, you know? And I mean, there's this little business, what was it called, Facebook, right? Worked pretty well, right? Okay, well, I don't think they had any idea when it got started that's what would happen, okay? But you're going to have to take risks. You're going to have to invest a little bit of money usually. You're going to have to do some things you probably don't like to do, okay, to get there. But the key thing, I think, is you have to create strategic alliances. You've got to get to know people, get to trust people, and hope that they'll work with you. Now, have you shown them the My Car Listings app? Oh, okay, well, there we go. That's my business, okay? And I mean, I use this thing. Not a lot of people are using it right now. I'm going to be, going to try to fool you. Not a lot of people are using it right now because we're brand new. But we could. I mean, this is a nice little app. I don't know in the realm of all apps, because I don't know a lot about apps. But it does what I want it to do. And basically, what the goal behind this was to have it for business networking, people that do networking. I know, like, and trust a lot of people, but I can't carry around. I have to have a wheelbarrow full of business cards to carry them around everywhere I go. So if you said I need a plumber, hang on, let me look at my plumbing cards here, okay? This way I don't have to do it. Now, there are a lot of card apps out there. There's apps where, I don't know what they're called. There's Munch, Card Munch, all these different apps. But what this is designed to do is also have a search feature in it, which it does have, to where if you're looking for a plumber and you don't know a plumber, that plumber's, you'll get a list of plumbers come up almost like a Google search, okay? I'm talking a layman term here. And that way you'll be able to take that person's card and send it, okay? Now right now it's free for everybody. We do have to figure a way to monetize this. And at some point in time, we may have it where if you're going to be in the search mechanism, we'll charge you a small fee, maybe $6 a month or something. And what I tell people is if you can't afford $6 a month, you're probably not in business, right? So don't do it. You're not serious about what you're doing. But it's free to have Scott's information, have his name, upload it, and all that. And the key to any kind of marketing success nowadays, 30 years ago was different, is you really have to give a lot of stuff away to prime the well. They did it in World War II. They used to put cartons of cigarettes in every soldier's backpack before they went to war, even if they didn't smoke, because when they came out, they were smoking. Okay, and then they had to buy the cigarettes, right? They got addicted to it. Yahoo did that when you first started. Everything was free. You remember those? Everything was free in Yahoo. Got it where people just couldn't be without it, so then they started charging. Google, okay? You have organic, but if you want to play in their sandbox, you got to do their pay-per-click. They're not stupid, okay? So you have to give it away to get people to using it to where they don't want to get rid of it. It's just a marketing tactic, okay? But I got to get away from that with you guys because I know you don't want to hear about marketing. The thing is, though, is that if you can take the marketing person and put that with the person who is the app developer, and then put that other particle that you need in there, and you build a strategic alliance with these people to where it's a win-win for everybody, everybody wins or everybody sinks, but everybody understands that there's a risk involved, then you have a possible win-win situation. Does that make sense? I mean, I don't know how valuable that is to you, but it's something that even when people know that, when I say it again, it brings it back to oh yeah, I remember that. You know, it's something I need to do. Does anybody have any questions about that or anything about marketing or any challenges? Has anybody here tried to market an app or tried to market any project of their own? Is there, pardon me? Go ahead.
My company is somewhat very marketing-centric company.
Good.
So we have an app, and you can see, I mean, there's proof in pudding with marketing. Every time we do a press release, key features on the new app,
right,
we see the downloads spike.
Isn't that amazing?
In that same, I mean, in the very same hour almost.
Yep.
It's amazing how immediate you see that, and then it dies off, and then we send another marketing piece and it's back up.
And it's because those people do what they do best. They probably have no idea how that app was developed. They have no idea, and they don't care.
We want them to learn how to take screenshots, but they just won't do it.
I know. But that's really what I'm trying to get is that everybody needs to do what they do best and farm out the rest. Okay, it seems like a very simple concept, but you'd be surprised at how many people don't do it. Okay, I can do this myself. I'll take it and I'll market it myself. And a year later they're saying, I wonder why I failed. Okay, and they don't know. And the reason is because they tried to do it all on their own. You know, I would like to be able to tell you that I'm the sharpest knife in the drawer, and that I knew everything, and that but I could not have even started getting an app without these guys. I just couldn't even have gotten there. I would have had the idea, but it had gone by the wayside.
So I'll kind of jump off that point.
Sure.
One of the formal reasons for our group, or one of the inclusive ideas, is that we're sort of meant to be a big tent organization. Our title is Android Developers, right? But in reality, that's a misnomer, because we really want to track all the peripheral trades and people involved in app building. We want the graphic designers, we want the marketers, we want branding specialists, we want sound engineers, we want, you know, did I say graphic designers? But we want people to do storyboards. We as a group, invite your friends to come, or especially to be involved with our group project, because if you're a graphic designer, you know, right now mobile's hot. It's a good place to make money, but there's certain things you'll need to learn, and this is a nice way to be involved with projects to get that first app or two under your belt, so you can point to the market and say, I mean, in my perspective, this app, you know, it doesn't really have many installs. Mostly it's people related to the project, because we haven't marketed it or did anything with it. But I can point to it and say, hey, look, there's an app of something I've done. It's the same with the graphic folks. I mean, I've spent more time doing some of the graphic parts of this than I did the development, because I'm not a graphic person, right? Designer. But you know, but this is one of the few apps I can point to and say, hey, I did that, because almost all of my work is proprietary stuff that I can't show. The stuff on the market, I can't even show the app for a few of them, because they haven't released it yet. They don't, you know. And other things, I certainly can't show the code. This one, I can show the code. Our group project, I really, if you want to be in Android development and you want to hold out your shingle and do remote work or full-time contract work, you're going to have to be able to point to something as a portfolio app and say, I did that. Group project's a great way to do that, because you have this project, but you're not off all the way out there on your own. There's other lists in the group that can work with you, but you can still say, hey, you know, I did 95% of that particular feature. So when you go to get a contract gig with somebody who needs a feature like that, right, you can point to that and say, hey, look, I can do it, right? And then you have built-in people for references and referrals. Yeah, he worked with us. He was told to work, right?
Yeah, it's important. I mean, I don't want to get too deep into the marketing aspect of it, because I know that's not where your head's at. But it's important to be able to show people what you've done if you are the person that's doing the marketing, okay? But you don't want to educate people. Too many times on websites and in presentations, they sit there and they try to educate people. If they're selling, they're trying to educate them. Believe it or not, most people spent 12 years in school trying to figure out how to get out. They didn't want to be educated anymore. Once they got out of school, they became visual. All I want to know is will it solve my problem? Okay? I don't know how many times I sit down with somebody that's in marketing, I sit down with somebody that's in marketing, and they start educating me on their product or service. And I'm about ready to go to sleep, so I'll stop them. And I'll just ask them, I'll say, excuse me, what kind of car do you drive? And they get a dumbfounded look on their face. What kind of car do you drive? Really? What's the spark plug gap? No, and you don't care, do you? So I tell them, you don't care what the spark plug gap is, so why are you trying to tell me all about the spark plug gap in your business? All I want to know is when I get in the car, if I turn the car and the key makes it run, will I go somewhere? People try to oversell or overeducate because you're smart, and you know it, and you're proud of what you know, and you want everybody to know that. But the end user, the person looking to buy what you have, they don't care. They don't care what the spark plug gap is. All they want to know is it going to take care of the problem that I have. Would you agree? You know, when you're looking for something, what you want to know is, I have a problem, I want to buy, is it going to take care of the problem? That's it. So sales and marketing is really pretty simple. Everybody makes it kind of hard. I'm writing a book. In fact, about 20 years ago, I was doing a presentation, and this lady came up to me. I did financial planning. She came up to me and she says, "Carl, you're so knowledgeable in this industry." She says, "I'm surprised you haven't written a book." And so I, in jest, said, "Well, I thought I would write one and have it published posthumously." And she said, "Oh, I can't wait to read it." I said, "Well, I'm not going to read it."
With that, we'll
yeah, I got to go.
We're at a 15-minute.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry.
We went over a little bit, but thank you.
And I wish I could say, but I can't. That's why I asked to go a little bit early, because I've got to run. But thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay.
And, if I can
next
help
up,
you all.
next up is